And we've also seen, and Putin referred to this, the uh, removal of statues, of Soviet statues, the removal of Lenin statues, but also the naming of streets, naming them after commanders of the OUNB and the UAP, these partisan forces that allied with the Nazi Germany occupiers of Ukraine. Um, it's been particularly Stepan Bandera, who is sort of the nationalist hero of the forces that are essentially on the border of Donbass right now. And in fact, I believe that the road that leads to Baba Yar was named Stepan Bandera Avenue, which is just absolutely shocking, that the site of one of the worst pogroms, where Jews were simply herded into a field, shot, and then thrown in mass graves, that this was named for a Nazi collaborator is just absolutely shocking. And this is the reality, along with the, the observances, the official observances of, honoring these war criminals, characters dressed up in UAP and OUNB garb,
and
carrying out
German SS
ceremonies
Nazi
with
uniforms. They have funerals for these U-crops that get killed in battle, and the guys that are carrying their coffins are wearing Nazi uniforms, dude. The eagle and the swastika, the steel helmet, the Mausers, the whole dress up,
Yeah,
and really, I I almost got to feel sorry for these, these social misfits. You remember that movie, The Blues Brothers, the original Blues Brothers, and Henry Gibson and all those stupid Nazis, that were fighting against the Blues Brothers, had to jump off the bridge and stuff. I mean, you got to think that most of these guys, they're just into, dressing up and, saluting themselves in front of the mirror and marching around their bedroom or whatever, their mom's garage. But, once they actually start murdering people, once they start kidnapping little girls and taking them back to the barracks and raping them to death, then it's like, it's like a poisonous snake or a mad dog. There's no humanity to be considered. There's no compassion, and literally, like I said, dude, to kill people like that is just to put them out of their misery. It looks like Henry Gibson right there.
This is a definite social misfit. He could have been in the Blues Brothers, and is actually honoring the, I believe, the Galician SS. This is a march in Kiev on April 28th, honoring the SS Galician Brigade. So this is the kind of, I mean, I could just show endless footage. I think everyone watching this has seen the footage from Ukraine, from Kiev in particular, just open displays of Nazism. We've covered it at the Grayzone, the arming of the Azov Battalion, which is openly Nazi, whose fighters wear SS badges. The training of this battalion by Canadian military officers. I mean, essentially,
U.S. Special is a British SAS, and the Azov Battalion is very, very, very dangerous soldiers. They're they're like the European version of ISIS.
Yeah,
and there's thousands of ISIS here too as well, and those are scary fighters to have on the other side of the line against you, dude. These guys, ruthless butchers, and they're very, very experienced at killing people. I mean, so some of these guys aren't all like Henry Gibson. Some of them are, dead like pirates, dude. I mean, they'll butcher a person like pulling the head off a chicken or something.
Right. They are, technically a minority in Ukraine, but as an ideological and military force, they play a dominant role. They've been incorporated into the National Guard. They have a national corps that operates openly in Kiev. They're able to intimidate Ukrainian citizens. They've attacked the Ukrainian Gay Pride Parade repeatedly, basically preventing it from taking place. They've attacked human rights activists. So they're terrorizing the Ukrainian population as well, and they essentially have veto power over decisions by the Ukrainian president and his office. And what we've seen essentially is the privatization of the Ukrainian military. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the units that are in the field, particularly in the east, are militias. They are not actually part of the Ukraine, and they have their own ideology. Most of it is nationalist. They're kind of exempt from any human rights rules imposed by the EU or whoever on Ukraine, and it's just this kind of free for all.
Well, it's not the majority, but it is a very significant minority. And these volunteer battalions, the Azov, the other guys, the oligarch-backed units, these are the guys with, the best equipment, night vision devices, encrypted radios, high-level optics on their sniper rifles. And these are the guys, and then the rest of them, the regular Ukrainian army is a bunch of dudes with, AK-47s that have had the barrels shot out 100,000 rounds ago, from the 1960s or something, and, they don't even have good boots, much less good food or stuff like that. So the military power of the genuine neo-Nazi battalions is much more, it's much greater than their numerical numbers would indicate.
Right, and let's just see some more footage of what Azov does inside Ukraine. This is a official Azov battalion pogrom against civilians. You can see that they're spray painting homes and cars of people who disagree with them. You have the Wolf's Angel logo in the upper right-hand corner, which is the official logo of the Azov battalion. This is at a time when Congress was refusing to block aid and arms to the Ukrainian military, but specifically to the Azov battalion, which had been incorporated into the National Guard. Here they're setting fire to a home, setting someone's front yard on fire. I mean, these are just thugs and hooligans.
That reminds me of Odessa right there, bro.